Are those your pants?
I didn't have pants when I went in.
Hell, you showed up with no pants?
I was in a bathing suit.
Do you have any idea what I went through last night?
I tried contacting everybody. I tried
With
contacting
what?
David.
A phone? While you got stuck in the drunk tank, you tried to call me?
Yeah.
With what?
With phone.
Who do you think you're talking to?
Why are you
I am your father.
Why are you in my face?
Because of your language and the way you're talking to me. Who do you think is gonna bail you out of this hole?
There's no money that needs to be bailed out.
Oh, really? So that makes it okay?
No. It took you long enough to get here.
What, you think I was in such a hurry? Get in the truck.
No. You come here.
Come here.
No.
Now. Why don't you tell me how you got arrested? Let me hear the story.
I was walking back because, yes, I yelled at the officers and I was mean. That's how I got arrested. I flipped the cop off.
I'm trying. Your action right now is indicative of the issues and struggles I've gone through.
Why do you not get about it? You should care. Getting arrested is not good. You should be ashamed.
Oh, up. Whenever I see any cops, that's straight up. I don't care. I'll say what I want to them because I have the freedom of speech for that. Even if I had been sober, straight up, I would have acted the same way. I would have cussed out the cops. I don't care for authority.
Okay, let's just jump right into this because we have a lot to cover, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay, there's no question that her behavior is out of control, right?
Absolutely.
That it's self-destructive.
It is, absolutely.
And dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Because she's behaving in a way that can get herself and others seriously injured. She's driving under the influence. She's getting into combat with people.
Absolutely.
I mean, something serious can happen here, right?
And that's my concern, is something is going to happen, and it's going to happen soon.
Okay, what I want to know is you have to have a theory about where this is coming from. I mean, you've been dealing with it for so long. What is your theory?
Danielle has had challenges from the youth. She has a huge heart, but she has anger issues. Her mother and I went through a divorce. She took it the hardest. She's tried to do the right things only to have things taken away from her, from authority, from her perspective. So she's got a lot of issues in her head and a lot of conclusions that just don't allow her to think rationally. And she just...
Okay, so out of that, I hear your theory is that she's a child of divorce.
Yes.
And that's triggered this, or is there something else?
Well, I think Danielle has some mental challenges as well. I know as a young child, she would tell me, "Dad, I hear voices. I'm afraid. They tell me to do things that could hurt you and the family." We tried to get her help. She refuses it. She doesn't cooperate. So it's just snowballed and snowballed and snowballed.
Okay, that started as early as 7, right?
Yes.
At 7, she said, "I'm hearing voices that are telling me to stick pencils in my sister's eyes. I don't want to do that, but I'm hearing these voices that tell me to," right?
Yes.
And that scared her, and she didn't want to do it.
Absolutely.
And you tried to get her help then. You say she didn't want help.
We tried to get her help. She was put on medication that really messed her up a lot. So she just withdrew. She was uncooperative, and it just continued.
So did you stop trying to get her help when the medication messed her up?
No, we continually tried to get a good therapist. Her mindset is, "Dad, if they could help me, they would have already helped me." And so, I mean, it got to the point where I had to physically go to the doctor with my daughter just to ensure that she went to the doctor and include myself in the session.
Okay, and you say that she runs up and down the street and that this family has become known as the crazy people in the neighborhood. That's your term, not mine.
It is. So we just recently moved to a new community, and it was my goal to have a fresh start, a great environment, and we've been there less than a month, and there's already been incidents with the police called.
Danielle is in control of David's life. All he does is damage control.
I shouldn't have to call a jail to see if my daughter's incarcerated. I shouldn't have to worry if she's going to be drunk or both.
Are you filming me?
Danielle's outbursts are volatile. It could happen at any time. I can't predict her behavior.
What do you observe here? You've been involved in the situation how long?
Only 8 months.
Okay. And you were the one that wrote in. Thank you very much. I'm glad you did, because something needs to happen here.
Oh, yeah.
In 8 months, you're a late comer to the situation, because this started when she was 5, as far as I can trace it back, but it's certainly accelerated, and it is accelerating. This isn't like it's plateaued out. It seems to be building on itself. But you've been there for the last 8 months, which is a critical 8 months. What do you think's going on here?
I just never realized it was this bad. When I met him, I thought, 4 daughters, cool. This is going to be amazing. They're all grown up. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, because the lack of respect. I was raised by a very strict mom. If I would speak to my mom the way they speak to their dad, I would be in trouble. There is no respect. There is no appreciation.
Yeah.
It's out of control.
I mean, he's so out of control, according to him, that he's had to give his and her passport to a neighbor so she can either shoot anyone or run away.
Well, I reached a point that I didn't want to be there. I traveled back and forth. I called him. I said, I'm not even looking forward to this trip because I feel unsafe in your house. And it's not even just because of Danielle. It's about her ex-boyfriend showing up. I was ready to book myself in a hotel just so I could see him, but not spend time in the house.
So you travel from where to where?
From the Netherlands to here.
To here. And so you get there and go, whoa, I've walked into a crossfire hurricane here.
Exactly.
Okay. And when you say disrespect, you say anger, rudeness. You think she's entitled. You think she's spoiled.
Yes.
Where'd she learn that? She just threw you right under the bus.
Yeah. No, I have to take ownership of that. As their father, it's my responsibility to raise my children to be respectful. 28 years in the Marines, I consider myself to be pretty respectful. But I've allowed the behavior, and I enabled the behavior. I'm aware of that. So
the good news is, I don't know if you think I know what I'm doing or not. You didn't write in. She did. Mm-hmm. I assume that my show's on in the Netherlands.
Oh, I'm one of your biggest fans.
Yeah. And you wrote in for a reason. How did you feel about when she wrote in?
How did I feel?
Yeah.
I was grateful. I was very appreciative. I was shocked, to be honest with you. But when she told me what she had done, I knew why. I knew that she loved me and she cared about this family.
Well, I got some good news and bad news. The good news is I really feel like I know what's going on here. The bad news is I feel like I really know what's going on here. And it's going to take a lot of change by everybody involved in this situation, and it needs to change, because if something doesn't happen, you're right, somebody's going to get hurt, even by accident. When people rage and they do the things that come with raging, which is stomping around, driving cars in rage, knocking things over, crashing into people get hurt by accident even. Not even if they intend to hurt somebody. Somebody gets bumped into, they fall, they hit their temple on the corner of a table, they wind up dead. I mean, things happen just accidentally when people rage. And you pour alcohol on top of it, you put drugs in the mix, and then you make it highly intense emotionally. You have a real flammable situation that can explode at any minute, and you get that, right?
I do,
That's
absolutely.
why you understand. So Danielle says she sees nothing wrong with drinking and smoking a bowl or two while she's driving. In fact, she says she gets the look of approval from other drivers. I guess they pull up next to her and do that. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to ask her after the break.
So this is an interesting episode. We have not met Danielle yet, but right off the bat, it sounds like she has had mental health challenges from early childhood. But still, the question that I'm asking myself in my mind is, what happened to her, right? Because her behavior, yes, it could purely be the result of just psychiatric disorder from an early age, but I'm willing to bet there's probably more to this story. And I feel like we will probably learn some things as we continue watching.
Because Danielle lives under my roof, there are rules, and I expect the rules to be followed.
Don't cuss at me.
No sleepovers with boyfriends, clean your room, pick up after yourself, assist with daily chores of the home. There is a GPS app on Danielle's phone that I expect to be on at all times. Danielle is typically the worst. She will turn the GPS app off, and I have no way of contacting her. Danielle likes to try to use the excuse, Dad, I'm an adult. Why do you treat me like a 12-year-old? And I simply respond, stop acting like a 12-year-old and I'll treat you like an adult.
Well, David says his 21-year-old daughter Danielle is a ticking time bomb, and I couldn't agree with him more. He says she will take anyone on that gets in her way. Now, Danielle says she hates her father and has no idea why she needs to be here today.
Don't yell at me! When I get mad, I rage. Nobody can recognize me. I can't even recognize myself. Shut the up! Shut up! I'm like a... Are you filming me? I find myself angry and pissed off 90% of the time I'm awake. When somebody tries to tell me what I should be doing, it's like, I'll live my life however the hell I want to. No one's gonna stop me. Shut up! Can you just listen? When I get angry, I scream, yell. Yes, you I punched my head, tear my hair out. Why are you doing that? One time I was bashing my head in my face with a metal tin so bad the tin ended up slicing my head open and I had to get staples. At one point I did try to push my eyes in because I was done with seeing everything around me.
Who do you think you're talking to?
Why are you
I
in
am
my
your
face?
father.
Why are you in my face?
Because-
when I look at my dad, sometimes I think he's a complete When I fight with him, I just freaking hate him.
How about a little respect?
My dad has rules. I really don't care about how simple they are. I'll break them. The rules don't matter to me. I have dated not the best guys. One time I was dating this guy and his ex-wife tried to jump me, but she couldn't. I beat her ass. Another time, I was dating somebody. Turns out he was in a relationship with this girl and he had got her pregnant. I told her, I'm gonna beat his ass. I'm gonna get a few hits in for you. I'm gonna lure him outside to make him think I wanna kiss him, but really I'm just gonna him in the face. I did exactly that. I hit him in the face. I slapped him multiple times because it was in public and I was throwing him around like a rag doll. Some people called the police. The only thing running through my mind when I got in that cop car was, nobody's ever gonna want to hire me. I'll never be able to have a respectable job, so it. My anger has gotten to the point where I can't control it and I just don't. That's not what happened! I just don't care. Don't you tell me you did it!
Well, Danielle is here, so Danielle, will you come out and join us now, please?
Hi.
How you doing?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm all right. How does that look to you when you watch that interaction on film? Sometimes when we step back and watch ourselves, we have a different point of view than when we're actually in it.
I don't have a different point of view. I just wish that they could have gotten it on film. The fact that my dad got in my face first, started cussing at me too.
Yeah. Well, I do appreciate you coming because I know this isn't your favorite thing to do.
No.
In fact, I wrote it down. You said coming to the show is bleeping stupid because there's nothing Dr. Phil can tell me that I haven't already heard.
Yeah.
Well, how do you know that?
How do I know that?
I might have some secret wisdom that you don't know.
Well, let's hope you can pull that secret wisdom out from somewhere.
Yeah. What if I'm the one guy that does have something that could help you? Would you want to know what it was?
Yeah. How do I know?
What if I'm the one person that maybe sees this differently than the other 9 people that you've seen, the other people that have intervened, that different than she sees, different than he sees? Would you want to know, not that you would agree with it, would you want to know what that was?
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, but I've already gone to doctors straight up. If they would have known what was wrong with me, they would have fixed me instead of telling me. But how does that make you feel? I'm tired of that question.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate that.
I do too.
Because I
I
mean,
don't got all the answers.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I go to the doctor is to get them. So
yeah. Well, I kind of one of those people who puts verbs in my sentences instead of asking how people feel. So we're agreed on that. You think that he gets in your face first, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
oh, most definitely.
What I'm concerned about is take me through the moment when you're hitting yourself in the head. Take me through the moment when you're pulling your hair. Take me through the moment when you're actually gouging your own eyes. He's not doing something. You're trying to hurt yourself.
Well, yeah. I mean, when he yells at me or when he belittles me and makes me feel like I'm just one of his Marines, I'm not. I'm his daughter. And sometimes I can't help when I hit myself. And it sucks because I don't want to hurt myself, but I do. My body just does it. And if anyone comes near me to try to help me, I do it more.
You said you were gouging your eyes because you just didn't want to see everything around you anymore.
I didn't want to see anything around me. I didn't know what else to do. I wanted to feel pain rather than to feel the emotional or mental pain. I'd rather feel the physical.
Mm-hmm. And you've hit yourself in the head, but you called it a 10.
It was like this little metal box I would keep money in. I grabbed it and there was something sticking out of it. I kept hitting my head with it. It eventually sliced my head open. I had to go to the hospital to get staples in my head.
Mm-hmm. And in the moment you were doing that, take me through that moment. What was in your mind that made that seem like a good idea?
I didn't want to feel the emotional pain, so I've always resorted to physical pain because I can focus on that instead of having to focus on what's really bothering me.
Mm-hmm. So if you can create an acute physical sensation, it crowds out the emotional pain.
Yeah.
Have you cut yourself before?
Yeah, I've cut my legs, I've burned myself with cigarettes, I've bitten myself, I've punched myself, I've even at one point felt like I wanted to stab myself.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Does it work in the moment?
Oh, it works.
It relieves the pain in the moment.
Yeah, it completely relieves the pain, not just in the moment, it relieves the pain 100%.
And the anxiety goes down.
Yeah, the anxiety goes down once I see the blood, once I feel the pain, once I felt that knife or that piece of glass, that razor, whatever it was around me, I felt a lot better. And I felt like, okay, if I can feel the physical pain rather than emotional, that's honestly all I want to feel.
It helps me a lot. Thank you for being candid about that. I mean, that really, really does help me. We have to take a quick break. Danielle admits driving and drunk, but denies that she's doing other drugs. Is she or is she not?
My daughter Danielle has this affliction for money. She told me flat out that she would do anything for money. One time, I found out that she was working at a gentleman's club.
I first started working as a waitress. However, I wasn't making enough money, so I started to dance. It didn't bother me taking my top off because my chest is natural anyway. I felt like, woo, this is fun.
To think that she's giving some old man a lap dance, I was disgusted.
The point is I was doing a regular job. I never slept with anybody for money. The only thing I would do is I would dance.
Well, David says Danielle will do anything for money except keep a respectable job. Now, her family says she is violent, angry, that she seems like she's possessed sometimes, and she just really loses herself in the anger. Danielle admits that she gets upset, but has her own way of calming down. Take a look.
The first time I ever drank and smoked was right after I graduated high school, and I did enjoy it. I realized, why haven't I been using this the whole time? Something that helps me relax. It soothes me. It helps me go back to being me. Ever since I started using marijuana, it's actually stopped me from having asthma attacks and these severe anxiety attacks that I have. I smoke marijuana and I drive. I don't think it impairs my vision or anything whatsoever. Nobody's ever called the cops on me if I'll see other drivers smoking, and then we'll kind of see each other, look in approval, and drive off. I have tried twice, 5 months ago. It's the only drug other than marijuana that I have tried. They want to hear me say I do other drugs, but I don't. It's not for me. I personally don't think my drinking is a problem. I don't like to get to the point where I get drunk. I enjoy the buzz. Sometimes when I drink, I will drive. There was a time where I almost got a DUI. My dad came pick me up. He was mad. I really didn't care, straight up. I was like, but I didn't get arrested, so why does it matter?
Well, let me answer that question. Why does it matter before we look at this next piece of tape? When you say people look at you and give you an approving look, how does that work?
So, I mean, we live in California. I mean, I've seen multiple drivers smoke. I've seen them hit the pipe. I've seen them do it. And when I do it, I don't try to do it like, oh, here I am doing it. I'll do it. Someone might see me. Someone might hold up their pipe like, yeah, cool, whatever. It's California.
Yeah. So y'all are cruising down the 405 showing each other your pipes. Well, I feel good about that.
So do I.
Yeah, here's the issue with that. I actually wrote a few things down that I feel required to say. If you're smoking and driving, your likelihood of having a serious or fatal accident is 25% higher than if you're not. If you're drinking, even to the point of 0.10, legal is below 0.08. If you're even 0.10, you're 6 to 12 times more likely to have a serious or fatal accident. A third of automobile fatalities involve alcohol. You're 4 times more likely at night to have an accident if you're drinking and driving. And the typical drunk driver drives 80 times drunk before they're arrested. So to say that it's just California cool is just not right. It's dangerous. You're putting yourself and other people at risk when you do that. And you don't want to be sitting at the side of the road and some child's body laying there because you rear-ended them. And you don't want to be involved in a situation like that.
Well, that's why I don't get caught.
Yeah. It's only got to happen once. And you say, you know, I got arrested, so I'm not ever going to be able to get a legitimate job. That's not true. But you kill some child, it does change your life, and you don't want to do that.
I'm not any children, so.
Yeah. So you don't want to put yourself at risk or something like that. This past Friday, Danielle did get arrested for public intoxication. She wasn't driving, she just was publicly intoxicated. And while she was behind bars, David got a call, an anonymous call from one of Danielle's friends who told him that he might want to search her room.
So, yeah, I'm definitely feeling like something else is going on with her. Just her attitude, her defensiveness, and there's a lot of tension that I can feel through the screen. I can tell that she's also nervous being on stage. When she first came out on stage and sat down, it seemed like she was kind of shaking a little bit. I understand why she might enjoy smoking It seems like she has some neurological issues, and that can alleviate certain symptoms. You know, for other people, it can worsen symptoms. But the smoking and drinking while driving is terrible. And her response to what if you kill a child, her response being, I'm not going to kill children, very concerning. So yeah, I definitely want to find out what is going on with this girl, because this is not normal.
This is my daughter Danielle's room. I had suspicions. I went into her room and I found her paraphernalia. You can see that there's a stash point here. She has lighter fluid that I'm told is utilized along with wax to smoke. I found this is the part that breaks my heart. She keeps her money in this, and that's her. There's in my house. In my house. I struggled with that, broke my heart. This, I'm crushed. This right here is a prime example of what I've been going through for the last several months. I slept good knowing my daughter was in jail. At least I knew where she was at. Because there's many nights that I had no idea where she was at. I had no clue if she was alive in the Marine Corps. I was a Marine officer. I'm a problem solver. I don't know what else to do. I'm way out of my league.
How much are you involved in activity?
Not very often. I do have friends that do it. That was something that I've had for a while. I kept it in that tin. I don't really open that tin much, but I kept it there in case maybe one of my friends wanted it.
Well, your friend made a statement, again anonymously, that says, I contacted Danielle's dad to tell him where Danielle keeps her. Danielle recently admitted to me that she has stopped taking her medication because she doesn't want to take them while she's doing other drugs. A week ago, Danielle was drunk and high on cocaine. She got pulled over by the police. She was eventually let go. I called David because I want her to get the help she needs. You apparently have friends that really care about you.
Care about me? No, they don't.
Why you say that?
Because they left me all at the beach. They all left me. I made sure that they were safe. I packed their stuff up, and they just left. None of them were there.
Somebody's gone to the trouble to reach out and try to get you some help.
They don't need to go through that trouble. It's none of their business.
But if they care about you, then you become their business.
I don't even care about me, so I don't care if anybody else does, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was not high on cocaine. I may have been high on marijuana, but not cocaine.
Your friend Josh cares about you.
Okay, Josh cares. Cool.
You know, Danielle says it's not her fault that she was arrested. Her childhood friend Josh was there, and he says Danielle never takes accountability for her actions or problems. And he's joining us via Skype now. Josh, how are you?
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing well. How are you, Dr. Phil?
Well, I'm okay. I'm talking to Danielle here, who I'm very pleased to say is, I think, being very candid with what she feels. I mean, she's being honest with what she feels. I'm not saying I agree with it all, but you've been listening to everything. What do you have to add to this conversation?
Well, I feel like, and I hate to say this, but like I feel like a lot of it comes from his enabling. Like she rebels against authority, and a Marine officer, an ex-Marine officer, is authority to her, and that's because all she does is kind of like fight back. I feel like she started doing a lot of this stuff because she was fighting back, and like the we, like I've talked to her about it, and she just doesn't care. Like none of the Danielle that I knew when I was in high school and middle school with her it's almost gone. Like she has complete indifference towards everything. And it makes me sad, and I've told her that to her face. Like she just does, like she knows she has a problem with a lot of things, and she just does not care. Like when we were at the beach, you know, we were all having a good time, whatever, and like we were all drinking, having some fun, and her friends like started going to the bathroom, and like she went, and I don't know what happened in there. Honestly, I feel like she's been using more, like I really do.
He went too.
No, I didn't.
You went to the bathroom with me.
Then how was I there later to talk to your dad?
Dude, you went to the bathroom with me. Don't lie on Dr. Phil.
Tell
them that you went to the bathroom with me.
You're blaming everyone else for your
Josh,
problem.
tell them
that started calling and trying to find you.
Hey, come on, guys, come on.
Josh, tell them that you went with me. I told you that if
Danielle,
you said that.
I called your cell phone.
You went with me to the bathroom. You went with.
I called your cell phone. Kelly.
Okay, this is not productive. Stop talking. There's been enough yelling in this family. I want to add Danielle's mother, Laura, to a calmer conversation. We'll meet her after the break.
David is an enabler with the capital E. He sets up a lot of rules for Danielle, but never follows up. David is constantly bailing Danielle out of trouble. 2 days after Danielle got arrested for beating up a guy, he lets her go to Vegas. You're rewarding her for bad behavior. David refuses to accept what's really going on. He needs to stop putting up with all of her.
Danielle's mother is here. Laura, let's hear what she has to say.
I'm very afraid of my own daughter. When Danielle goes into these fits of rage, she is extremely uncontrollable.
You didn't give me a jail, John!
Her pupils dilate and she will scream and shake. It's very scary. Sometimes when she's doing this, my mind goes to, are there scissors around? Are there knives around? Is there something that she can pick up and hurt me with or hurt somebody else in the room with? The absolute scariest moment that I had with Danielle, I took her phone away from her and she ran past me and she slammed the door in my wrist so hard that we literally thought it was broken.
This is where she gets hot. I've got a pipe. Here's a pipe.
Danielle's self-medicating. She smokes marijuana and has for quite some time.
Here it is. There's a part that's destroying her life.
She justifies it because she says it helps with her anxiety. One time I came out to California and Danielle picked us up from the airport. And the second we opened the door, it just reeked like marijuana. And I'm like, are you smoking while you're driving? And she's like, yeah, but nothing's gonna happen. Yes, Danielle, something could happen. When Danielle was about 7 years old, we had issues. She said, Mommy, I'm hearing these voices and they're telling me to take pencils and stab my sisters in the eyes. And she said, but Mommy, that's bad. And I know that's bad. And I don't wanna hurt them because they're my sisters, but I don't wanna hear these voices anymore, Mommy. They're mean. That's where it all started. It's just gotten worse.
Thanks for joining us. You've been watching everything so far.
Yes.
I want you to join the conversation. I've got some things I want to do quickly, but first, is there anything you want to add based on what you've heard so far?
Danielle has had issues since she was little.
Got it.
And we've really tried to get her the help. And when she was younger, she did take the medication, but she can still remember how those medications made her feel. Doctor after doctor, therapist after therapist. She goes for a short while and she has never got anything out of it. She's like, nothing just clicks, Mom, nothing clicks.
We've covered that 9 therapists actually, and different medications,
Right.
and nothing has
And she
gotten
has
traction.
told me that she wants help, that she can't control herself and she doesn't know what to do. But in those videos, when you see David...
We're going to get to those right now.
Okay, so this was part 1 in a 2-part episode. I've said a couple of times I feel like there's more to it in addition to her just having mental health problems since early childhood. I feel like she's experienced some things, and I think that we might learn what that could be in part 2. So just speaking for what I've seen so far in part 1, she's scary. You know, thinking of her being on the road while I'm on the road, while y'all are on the road, is really frightening. She seems very self-destructive, and she flat out said, I don't care who cares about me because I don't care about myself. I think it's really sad, and I don't even know what to feel. I feel a lot of empathy and compassion for her, and simultaneously I feel very frustrated with her because she doesn't understand how valuable her life is. She's self-harming, and it seems like she has a dish. I certainly hope things don't turn out that way, and I hope that while she's being self-destructive, she doesn't accidentally take innocent people out with her. But what did you guys think about this? What do you think about her father, his approach? He has a lot of rage. So one thing for sure is, like, I feel like the rage was present from the beginning in the father, and maybe that has also contributed to some of Danielle's rage, but her relationship with her father seemed really toxic. I think the father's new girlfriend, she seems lovely. She wrote into the show. She's only been around for 8 months, so bless her. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and watch part 2. So you guys let me know what you think about this. If you have any ideas why you think Danielle might be behaving this way, let me know. Drop it in the comments.